Hello guys, welcome to the webinar Patching Like a Hero. My name is André Untalba. I'm a board manager of Lux OG. Today is a special day for us because we start in the first webinar with my friend and board manager Rodrigo Mufalani. It's very good day for me especially. Uh, Before starting this webinar, I will give you a quick overview about the group. Okay. Uh, oh, 1 minute. Yes. Okay. This group was created in May this year with the objective to share technology and experience about Oracle technologies. In 2 months of activities, we have 46 registers using in the group, and we have more than 22 unpublished articles yet. Uh, is now is these are my friends who part of the board members. Okay, me, André Montalba, Rodrigo Mufalani is a speaker today, Leonardo Lopes, Carlos Magno, and Fernando Simon. Well, now we go to webinar patching like a hero with my friend and board manager Rodrigo Mufalani. I hope you enjoy it a lot. Rodrigo is now with you, and thank you for attention in this webinar.
Okay. Uh, okay. Let me just share. Okay. Okay. Welcome to everybody. It's me speaking, Rodrigo Mufalani. Today we will speak about patching. It's a non-pleasure task for DBAs, especially when you have a different environment to patch, but it's part of our daily tasks. Okay, so um, in our agenda, we will go through why patch quarterly is so important, how to backup, tips and tricks, patch analyzer tool, patching Oracle Home, Grid Infrastructure, and
Rodrigo, your screen is not see.
no, sorry. Let me stop and start up again. I think I need to share screen. So everybody seeing my screen right now?
Yet?
Okay. So I will start again. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Rodrigo Mufalani, DBA, long-term DBA with more than 10 years of experience. And today we will talking about patching the database. Okay. So today we will see our agenda. Why patch is so important, how to do a backup, how to some tips and tricks. We will see the patch analyzer tool provided by Oracle, patching Oracle Home, Grid Infra, and Oracle Enterprise Managed Cloud Control. We will go through data dictionary patch and how to check if the patch is applied or not in your database. Okay. A little bit about me. I am principal DBA at eProceed, Luxembourg, since 1 year. Today it's the anniversary of my job. I joined eProceed July last year. I am an Oracle Certified Master, an OCM. I have been part of Oracle ACE member community since 10 years. I am board member of Lux OG that Ontalba introduced early. And also I am board member of GUOB, Group of Users Oracle in Brazil. Okay, these are my contacts, so you can drop an email if you have any further questions, or Twitter, whatever. So, disclaimer, these postings on this document are my own and don't necessarily represent my actual employer position, strategies, or opinions. The information here was edited to be useful as general purpose. Specific data and identifier were removed to allow us reach more audience and useful to the community. So, let's start. Why patch is so important to become your database environment? So it will avoid some issues, some bugs that happen. Oracle is a software, so time to time some functionality registers some bugs. To avoid security breaches on it, also there is some security breaches as all software OS in the market. So to solve detected bug that you are running through in your environment, and also solve some performance issues. You have some bugs that affect your performance, and also enable some upgrades. For example, to upgrade an Exadata software, you must to be on patch, defined patch, before to allow you to do an upgrade, okay, of a DB node, for example. So here is the screen at your MetaLink where you download the software. So as you can see right now, you see the patch number right here, the small description of the patch that you want to download. Here you have the date that the patch is delivered by Oracle, and then here you can see how massive these patches are right now. Okay, so as I said before, patching your environment is so important to keep it running and without any issues, any security breaches, or any ORA 600, for example. In this case, this patch, it's a combo of OGVM and also plus Grid Infra. Okay, we will talk about RU, this notation later on. Okay, as you can see, this patch solved this amount of bug, and really for this patch, it's a few list, a small list of patches. Usually, some patches that you apply on quarterly, as usual, you see more bugs fixed on it. Okay. It's another because you can download, for example, the combo, or you can download the component separated, each component that you wanted to apply. Okay. So still talking about why it's so important. During the Oracle 12c release 2, Oracle decided to change the nomenclature of the database releases, and also the patch nomenclature. So right now you see, instead to the previous version of BP, it's a proactive bundle patch, or PSU that DBAs are used, especially DBAs that started in Oracle 8i, 9i, 10G. Okay, and for the new release, this nomenclature, BP and PSU, started on 12CR2 only. So for the databases running software 12C release 1 and lower, you will able to see the nomenclature BP and PSU. Okay, as more to be more precise, Oracle transformed the 12CR2.0.2 in 18C. So now you are they decide to release the version each year. So you see 18C, 19C, maybe 20C. I don't know if they decide to change the C letter on it. Maybe if post cloud, maybe if there is a change of technology. Maybe. Okay. So what is an RU and what is a RUR? Okay. If you want more information about the difference, I recommend you to go through this link of my guru of upgrades. Everything that I check about upgrades, I go through Mike Dietrich blog, and there is 2 or 3 posts about this difference between RU, PSU, BP, and ROR. Okay. Um, to simplify, RU, so release update, is the release update that you the Oracle release quarterly. So you see the production version 12 no 18.1. Then in the April you have the release update 18.20. On July you see 18.3. That's the version that I use to test a lot of things in my laptop. And then October, you see 18.4 and so on. So these versions are released quarterly. And as you can see on Mike Dietrich blog, RUR version maybe depend of the circumstances, released on or no during this release. So that notation with the dates, for example, 18C, sorry, 18.1.0 point 1901 some day. You will be a release update revision. Okay. Um, let's talk about a really important thing in patching procedure. Since I started with work with Oracle a long time ago, my manager at that time, Luis Eduardo, told me that there is no, I will translate, okay, of course, from Portuguese, there is no unlucky DBA. There is unemployed DBA, okay? So the first rule that I learned as I was intern, it's backup. First thing that when you arrived in a customer, it's backup the environment, okay? So not um, even if the Oracle that you are working on it that you need to solve, maybe you are at least to be able to return as the first step that you face. you need a proper backup. Okay. In this case, I am not talking about database backup, but I blog. Uh, you can see on this link right here, and you can see also in this note that is very important to back up Oracle installations. It means the Oracle home that you are running. So to avoid some issues with some files that belongs to root user, usually we do a simple tar. You can do it with the database running, for example. You can copy the files of Oracle Home like this um, in hot mode, or you don't need to stop anything. And it's really important to keep your job, for example. So to backup Oracle, you can go to the path of installation and issue a tar like this. And if you need, for example, to revert a patch that was not succeeded applied, okay, in the worst of cases, you can move your damage Oracle home and then untar, do a tar to uncompress the file. Let's say that it is not compressed, but in this case, just to put the files on the right place. And then as Oracle user, here the backup and the restore, you go through the root account. You go with the root account. And to issue a relink, you go as Oracle user. So you just need to enter in the bin of the home and type the command relink space all and then type enter. You will see that Oracle will inform to you a log file, and you must check these code 1, fatal, and error. So I am cut the file, the resultant file, and then I am grabbed the code 1, the fatal, and the error words in the file. Okay? If none show up, you are good. So, what I can say to you about tips and tricks that I collect doing my patching stuff around my career. Uh, Very important to check the inventory. So you can use OPatch ls inventory to check if your inventory before you patch is not corrupted, is not with bad entries. You have some notes on Metalink to correct the inventory. Some of them it's automatically, some of them are manual. So check the OPatch required version. It's written on the patch documentation. So also backup your Oracle Home. If you have enough space, you can clone your Oracle Home and then patch the new Oracle Home, for example, and then just switch the database to this new home patched. So it will be, I learned this with a presentation of Faruq Nanda long time ago. So I think it's very important to do that. And if you have available space on your server, you can do it to reduce your downtime and reduce the risks. If something bad happened, you can just return, just stop and start of your database in the previous home or in the new home. Okay. Check the OS version of the patch. As you play sometime with Solaris, like HPUX, AX, Linux, it's sometimes you made a mistake of download the incorrect OS version of the patch. So if you try to patch the incorrect version, you may damage your installation, you may result in some error. It's not a good idea. So before to start the patching procedure, it's a good idea to check if you download the correct version architecture of the OS of the patch. Okay, and this is a golden rule. Really, I failed miserable a lot of times because I didn't read the entire README file of the patch. So please, each patch has the particularities on it. So check the README file, read the entire README file. You will see in new versions of 18C patch, you will find more than one README file. One README file per patch, because sometimes you apply a patch, it's a really huge patch and with a lot of small patch on it. So you probably will uh, see what I am talking about in future patching maintenance of your in your environment. Okay, so please, this is the most important right here. It's most is so important than the backup. Okay. Um, Another thing that I passed recently: don't use NFS file system to store patch files. I faced some issues, some corruption of the patch files. I got some issues on the patch procedure because I stored the patches on the network file system. So use uh, local file system to store the patch, unzip, and then another thing that happened to me, I was running through in an environment with a lot of memory allocated on huge pages, and then when I was unpack the patch, I got a lot of errors because I had no memory available to unzip. So as I was unzipping a patch of 1.2 gigabytes, um, the OS returned to me some error messages because the lack of memory. Okay. Also, it's good idea to check the general environment variables, the Oracle Home and path, library path, and all related to your environment. Another thing that it's important, there is a note of, for example, to patch Exadata, um, clean before your .bash profile on Linux, for example, to avoid some kind of menus and other stuff because you can fail during the patch because of that. Okay, there is a note about that on Metalink. So, how to deal with you running out of space during the patch? You see that Oracle put in last versions of Patch Manager procedure to check. You run a command I will show in the next few slides to see if you have enough space on your file system to patch it. Okay. Um, but if this thing happened during the patch, you need to run these files restore.sh and the make.txt. They are located on this hiding, so important but hiding folder in your Oracle Home. It's a dot to be hiding, patch underscore storage, and apply, and the timestamp that you are applying the patch. So if you receive some error message during the patch application, you can um, you can run this go through this procedure to run the restore.sh and make.txt. Okay. Another question that came into your mind: can I delete this directory? And you can see in this note, you cannot. It's not recommended touch on this directory because since Oracle 10G.2, Oracle is keeping some files, not the affected files, but also libraries that you apply when you applying a patch. Okay, so if you remove this this directory, you will not be able to roll back a patch, and maybe you get some wrong output when you try to do a rollback of patch. Blah, blah. And you can use this procedure listed on the note on the presentation to clean up if you patch very often your environment, and then you have your Oracle Home you increasing and increasing, and you see this directory becoming huge. Okay, so you can follow this. I will show in few slides. Oh, okay, next slide. If you need to clean that folder, you go to the Oracle Home /OPatch, and then you launch OPatch space U2 space cleanup. So Oracle you ask you if you wanted to clean up, and you probably will reply yes, and Oracle will clean up the directories for you, and after that you are not able to roll back patch anymore. But this it's less dangerous than remove the directory by your hands. Okay. uh, Another thing that you can do, if the patch allows you, it's doing the patch in rolling fashion way. What does it mean? It means that you can patch if you are running in rack, for example, you can patch one side and stop, start, and then patch the other side. So you minimize the impact, you minimize the risks. Another thing that Oracle Strong recommends you, it's applying the patch following the rule of standby first. So you can apply the patch, validate the patch on your standby. If you do anything wrong, or if the patch doesn't work as expected, you can hold back. Maybe in the worst case, you rebuild your standby, do the installation again. But if you follow the right procedures, backup of Oracle Home, you can easily put the things where they were before you start the patch. Um, this it's important. I faced this, I think, 1 or 2 months ago during the patch on 11G Oracle installation, and uh, it's amazing because even if I say no to the patch, OPatch ruin my Oracle Home installation, and I cannot use it more anymore. Okay, so um, when I launch the OPatch, I go to the director, then I launch the OPatch to apply the patch. It's a small patch, but it's necessary in that case. Oracle asked me, or the OPatch asked me, "Oh, do you want to proceed?" And I said yes, the first thing. Then is the local system ready for the patching? And I said yes again. And then I got the error message, and I said, and the Oracle asked me again, "Oh, do you want to proceed?" And I said no. And Oracle. So, uh, okay, the OPatch is smart enough to try to revert the mess, but even with that, it's not enough for me to recover this Oracle Home installation. Okay, so even with that, Oracle suggested me to use that procedures of restore.sh or .batch if you are running on Windows, and then the make.txt to put the Oracle in a good Oracle Home in a good pace again. And it failed with OPatch error code 7.3. Okay, to solve that, as I did a backup of my Oracle Home before the patch, it was easy. Okay, this issue occurred because of this library right here, lib a hs gen 11.so. Okay, what I did to solve this, it's copy this library affected. I back up the current library, he named it to another name, and then I copy from my backup to the Oracle Home lib, and then I issued a relink procedure that I showed before. So after that, I solved the issue. Oracle relink was okay. There is no error message, as I showed to you how to search on the beginning of the presentation. And I was able to start my database again. Okay. Um, this is a contribution of my friend Fernando Simon. Really useful notes here to read uh, entirely before to apply patches on database to be more familiar with the new notation of ROR, RU. Uh, this second one, it's an assistant. It's really nice. You go through the metalink and type this number, and you open an assistant that you can put your version, the architecture, OS, blah blah blah. And this is a shame because it's not available for Windows, but uh, most of people run Oracle in Unix and Linux nowadays. So Oracle decided to provide just this assistant for Linuxes and Unixes. But it's really nice to find the correct patch to patch your environment. Okay, you have some really useful information through those notes. Another really important thing is the patch conflict analyzer. Oracle provided uh, on Metalink, and before that, it's painful to find a conflict of patches because you don't know exactly what is affected on each patch that you are trying to apply. Sometimes you try to apply a patch, you need to roll back, and sometimes you try to apply the rollback patch again and conflict with the current version that you are applying. So in this case, you need to ask Oracle to do a merge of patches for you. These two, it's available on Metalink, I think, since the version 10G, if I am not wrong. And you can do ls inventory or patch ls inventory directing to a file, and then you upload the file, and then you analyze uh, to the patch if your environment it's compliance, let's say that, with the patch, and then you can safely download and apply the patch. Okay, if like this, for example, uh, here you have the platform, then the button to attach the file that you of that I mentioned before, the inventory file, and then you have a button on the right that I didn't put here to analyze. And then after analyze, if the output shows to you that there is some conflict, you can request directly from this tool the merge to Oracle support to provide the merge of the patch for you. Okay, or as I did, I think 3 months ago, these two become unavailable for 2 days. So I created an SR and requested the merge of patch manually. You can do it as well. So let's start with the most important topic, uh, applying the patch. As I told before, this is a sample of the README file of the patch. So here you read the bugs affected, the bugs correction, how to proceed to install the patch, how to proceed to the install. If the patch it's this is really important. If the patch is rolling installable or not. In this case, this patch is not rack hole installable, so you need to have a downtime to apply this patch, and you see a lot of information. So first thing that you need to patch is the OPatch utility by itself. So in this node, 6880880, you have the step by step to download the correct the OPatch version. There is, as far as I check it, different versions to 11G, 12C, 12C.2, 18C, 19C. You have different versions of OPatch. So that is the simple. Once that you downloaded the patch, you can move the folder OPatch to opatch.update. I use this in my procedures, and then you unzip the download file pointing to the directory of your Oracle home with the option -d. Okay. Um, as I said in the very beginning of the presentation, um, starting from the 18C, you probably will face some README files below under each patch directory. So you must go through all of them before to apply a patch. Okay. Once that you download the OPatch to the correct version, um, in the README you will see the required minimum version of the OPatch to apply a specific patch. Okay, so we must fit at least the minimum, but it's not a problem if you are running into a OPatch version uh, with a higher version of the required. Okay, um, that's in this case to apply this specific patch number. Uh, the major patch number it's 2930 1682. In inside this patch you have for the database home these two patches, the 2930 1631 and 2930 2264. So with this command line we can check the conflict of your current Oracle home and the patch. Okay. So in this case, there were just two, but can be just one, can be three, depend of the patch that you are intend to apply. It can vary. Okay. So as Oracle user, to apply this patch, you go to the folder of the patch. Then it's a good idea to export your correct Oracle home, check if the path is okay. Then you run the OCN RSP. It will generate it will, this command line will ask you for some information of your account of Metalink, email, and then you generate a file for you. And when we run the patch, uh, Oracle will read that file. Okay. Um, Here again, we have the complete procedure as Oracle. The pre-check here again on the bug fix. Let's say that this number, and then with the other bug fix. This kind of information, the pre-check, it's available on the README file. Okay, because of that, it's really important to go through the entire README file and then apply the patch. As I said also before, there is a system check of space if you have a file system with enough space to update this patch. So you will run these two commands on it. And then you apply the patch by itself as root user. So in this case of the patch, in this particular patch, it's required to apply as root user because maybe change some file that belong to root. And the syntax on README file was OPatch auto, the location of patch minus OH, then it means Oracle home. Then you inform the Oracle home that you intend to patch, and then minus OCN response file. So this is the file that I created on first step as Oracle. So Oracle will ask you if everything, when you are doing this, uh, as you probably know already, you must stop all things running on this particular home. So listeners, databases, and whatever. You stop everything to allows Oracle to change properly the files because patching is just a matter of replacing some libs and files and then relink. Okay, and then you can check your if you received the messages, uh, if your patches were applied or not. You can list using this command line OPatch ls patches. Okay, so sometimes you run through a conflict and that you already check with Oracle and Oracle provide the merge of the patch. You can hold back the ID of patch. I put some random number here, and but that's it. You can roll back a patch like this. Okay. This is amazing because uh, started, I think, on 12c.2 before to install the grid infrastructure for some specific architectures. you must to apply the patch before even to install the Grid Infra. So you download the Grid Infra, then on 12c.2 it's a kind of a clone um, procedure to install. You download, put on the correct folder that you intend to be your grid home. Then you unzip the patch. Then you run the specific patches. In this case of this particular patch, three command lines. And then after that procedure, you can launch the grid setup.sh and go through the Oracle Universal Installer to install your patch. No, not install your patch, install your grid infrastructure, your hack. Okay. Um, this is I pass recently. I need to patch an Oracle Enterprise Manager Cloud Control, a production one, and I need to do that on AX. So it was my first time patching um, Enterprise Manager Cloud Control in AX. So I go through this adventure um, last month, I think, and Leonardo also blog about that on LuxOG blogs. So you can check the steps to do. It's 5 steps uh, listed here. Basically, you need to back up. That is important. You need to check if you have the permissions to create large files. The enterprise managed cloud control homes are really big. So maybe you face some issues if the enterprise managed cloud control is still running when you backup it, and you can ignore because these files are with 0 bytes. So in my case, there is a few files like that, and the tar complained about it. So after backup, Oracle requires to update the OPatch and OSM patcher. But in fact, to apply the OPatch upgrade, in this case, you must to stop OMS before and then run a Java file like this to put the OPatch on the middleware folder on your Oracle Enterprise Managed Cloud Control folder. Okay, and then you need to update the OMS patcher as it is required. So you can follow the same procedure as for the regular database homes uh, to update the OPatch. So I just move the folder and then unzip the file, the patch, the version of OMS patcher. And then I started the Enterprise Manager Cloud Control again just to check if everything is fine until this step. Okay? And then you need to generate some files and keys in your server, and you Oracle you ask it during the procedure to you inform the username and password. Usually is the username and password of that installed Enterprise Managed Cloud Control. You must check this before to proceed to the patch, and then you create a proper file like this, pointing to the admin server URL like this, where it's located your config file generated by this step right here, and admin key file also generated by this step. So in this case, I generated those files under /user1 Oracle patch OMS. Okay, then you analyze the conflicts. So you download the patch first, unzip the, the patch, then you go through the inside the folder of the OPatch, and then you use this command line to analyze if there is some conflict with the patch that you are intend to install. After that, you can stop the Enterprise Manager Cloud Control, and right here, without the analyze, uh, this is the parameter that just analyze, and here running it out the analyze, so you can check right here. You finally patch your Oracle Home, Oracle Enterprise Managed Cloud Control, and then you can launch, restart the Enterprise Managed Cloud Control again. So if everything is okay, and I think I doubled this slide. Sorry. After patch, it's good to OPatch ls patches to see if everything is according that the inventory is according that you expected, um, to check if the patches are applied successful. Okay. About data dictionary patches, SQL patches, not all the times, but it's frequently there is some data dictionary SQL associated with. In the past, you use different procedure. I think it's PS2 apply from 11G to in and older versions, and now since 12c.1, Oracle introduced the utility part of the OPatch is the data patch. Okay, data patch, it's a really smart tool. It's online. You can apply data patch with your database running. It's required to do because it will these two will apply some correction on the data dictionary. So the database must be up and running. And if you are running, for example, two different versions of Oracle, for example, you are running on 12c.1 with the patch of April, and you um, duplicate this database to a newer release of patch, for example, October. You must use the data patch to apply the new version of the SQL data dictionary. Okay? But if you do the opposite direction, it can be done. You can duplicate, for example, your database for a major version of October of 12c .1, for example, and then you duplicate for a minor version of April. So data patch is smart enough to hold back the necessary SQL patches applied on your database and then apply the correct version. It's really nice. So this is how we can launch the data patch. It's just go through the Oracle Home /OPatch, and then it's a good idea to explicit version of it. So you put data patch minus verbose. So it will produce an output like this one. Okay. If you are running in an environment of multi-tenant, and some a time that you applied some patch on your database, there is some PDB mounted. Uh, the old data patch you skip as is noted right here. So it's just applied that data dictionary patch on PDBs um, open, okay, and especially on the seed. It's not open, but open read only. So after the patch, you can check the inventory, but depend how many patches you applied in your environment. This first command OPatch ls inventory that I inventory. Okay, it's correct. Um, it's with a huge output, so it's better idea to redirect the output to a file and then check later. Or if you want to summarize the version, you can just issue OPatch ls patches. And for the last on this webinar, we can check the applied version. I think I blogged about it on my blog or in Lux OG blog. You can check this view. Not this is not a view. This is a table, an internal table, to check if the OPatch applied the correct version. If you don't forget to apply the SQL. So if you are running onto a 11G version, you can use this table. If you are running on 12C and onwards, you need to use the DBA underscore register underscore SQL patch. There is kind of a difference between the tables, but basically it shows some the same information. And there is another version to check running a PLSQL um, package, but I think I use it just for test. I prefer to do like this. Okay, so it's done. We have finished. I will able you to do some questions. I will be pleasure to reply as soon as possible. I don't think it will be right now, depending on how much question I have. And this is about the Oracle ACE program. So we have some uh, kind of, not kind of, we have some levels. We have Oracle ACE Associate, we have Oracle ACE, that is my level, and you have the higher level of ACE directors, the guys more engaged with evangelize Oracle through the community around the world. So we have more than five, almost close to 500 people around the world who has received this prize from Oracle. Okay, if you want to participate, just go through these links and nominate yourself or nominate someone else that you are um, that you think that it could be able to receive this prize from Oracle. Okay, so I will minimize my window right now and check if there is some questions that you maybe done during the presentation, or you can done right now, or can do right now. Okay. Okay. Let's... Andrea.
Hi, Rodrigo. I'm checking now. No, no questions. I believe
No
that is a
question so far.
no. It's
Oh,
very good. It's very good presentation.
I am lucky.
Yeah.
I am a
No,
lucky guy.
no. I believe that it's a excellent presentation about the patching. It's several topics, several tips and tricks. And I believe it's a very good first webinar. It's very, very, very good. I believe that
Thank you.
it's this. And I don't know. It's to finish it and
I hope that everybody understood my bug English. I must be sorry because I am not a native English speaker.
me too.
So I hope that you have enjoyed the webinar, and it's the first of a series that you are planning, and for sure we will do.
Yeah, of
in
course.
the next days, and that's it. If you have
Yes.
any question about the presentation, please drop me an email, and I will be more than happy to check and reply as soon as possible. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Rodrigo.
Andrea, and thank you everybody to watch this presentation. It's our first Lux OUG event, and I am pretty excited about it. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.